I hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing this Cinderella inspired makeup tutorial, so if you'd like to see how I got this look then please keep watching. So I'm first starting off by prepping my skin, and I'm using the fillume, I think that's how you call it, moisturiser, and I really like this because it makes my skin look really nice and plump, but really nice and moisturised at the same time. And then, as always, going in with my eyeshadow first, I'm using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance in the shade Lemon Drop all over my eyelids on both eyes, and this gives my eyeshadow a really nice base and makes the colours pop. So first I'm starting off with a highlight, and I'm using the Mary Luminizer highlighter, and it broke all over me and I literally have highlighter all over my carpet and my bed sheets. But hey ho, it's okay, I can sort that out later. But I'm just highlighting my brow bone here with that colour and making sure I'm going all the way in as well. Then taking Tease from the Naked 2 palette, I am just popping that onto the crease of my eyelids. And this is basically a really nice cool toned brown transition shade that will help all of the colours of my eyeshadow blend in really nicely into each other. And again, I'm just making sure that both of the eyes are as even as possible. Now for the lid, I'm using Warm Silver and Platinum in this Zoeva palette mixed together and just applying that onto the whole of my eyelid. And this is a really nice kind of, I'm gonna say like a greyish silver colour mixed together. It's really beautiful, so I thought it would be the perfect Cinderella shade to wear, and making sure that both of the sides are even as well, and then going back with the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette and Tease to make sure that all of the colours are nicely blended in, and yeah, just making sure that both eyes are looking as even as possible before I move on to anything else. The next step I did was I curled my eyelashes, and you guys know the drill by now. If you've seen my mascara routine tutorial, then I always curl one eye first, then apply mascara onto that eye before moving on to the next one. And this is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. And I've basically been only, I want to say, wearing this over the past, well, since I got it really, and I just absolutely love it. It makes my eyelashes look really natural, but obviously much longer and pretty glam at the same time. Once I've done one layer of that, I'm going in with the Miss Manga Punky Mascara, which basically is the mascara combination that I've been wearing almost non-stop over the past, I want to say, 3 or 4 weeks. It just makes my eyelashes look like I'm wearing falsies when I'm really not, and yeah, I just love the way these two work together. But I did in the end go in with some falsies, and these are the Huda Beauty lashes in the one called Giselle, and they're super fluttery and really gorgeous. And then taking Perversion eyeliner by Urban Decay and just running that along my tight line just to make sure that the eyelashes are looking nice and thick from the base. And I just love doing this trick, especially when I'm not going to be wearing any winged eyeliner on top of my eyelids, which was basically what I was doing this time around as well. So onto the face, I'm using a mixture of the NARS Tinted Moisturiser and my MAC Face and Body in C5. I wanted to go for like a really dewy kind of look, and wanted my skin to just look and feel like my skin, so which is why I went in with these two mixed together, and I didn't really want anything matte. So these are basically a really nice combo for nice glowy skin, and I'm obviously putting that on with my beauty blender, which I have missed so dearly, and quickly just popping some lip balm on my lips, and I'm using the Glam Lip Balm, which I've also been loving recently. If you watched my last month's favourites video, you will know that this stuff is amazing. And then just colour correcting my eyes with this Illamasqua cream pigment in the shade Emerge. It's kind of like a salmony colour. It basically counteracts any kind of darkness and purpleness that you have underneath your eyes. So once I've done that, I went in with the Bourjois Healthy Mix Concealer, and I think this is in the shade 51, and I'm just popping that onto the under eyes, and yeah, just kind of brightening that area in general, and just patting that all in with my finger. And doing the same with the other eye, and then I felt like I just wanted to get any excess product off and just blend it in a little bit more, so I went over on the top of it with my beauty blender for that. And then I just highlighted the usual, my forehead, my bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow and my chin, and just also under my contour. And yeah, I just did this very, very lightly because I wanted it to look super natural at the same time, because I'm sure Cinderella wouldn't have gone mega glam to the ball. Then taking this Clinique Chubby Stick, what is this called? Taking the Clinique Chubby Stick, which is the contour version of this stick, and basically I'm just contouring my face, so my cheeks, my forehead, the sides of my nose, and also my jawline. And then taking my favourite Motives brush, which I love using to blend my contour out, I'm just using this to blend all of the contour lines into my skin. And I really, really made sure that this was as natural as possible and the contour was as super, super blended as I could get it. So once I was done kind of blending all of that into my skin, I took my Too Faced bronzer, and this is the darkest shade, which is such a beautiful, cool toned brown, and I'm just going over the top of the areas where I contoured, just to add a little bit of warmth to my face and a bit more dimension as well. And then to set my concealer, I used this Kick-Ass concealer by Soap & Glory, and it's basically a yellow toned blotting powder almost, and it's very, very similar to the banana powder by Ben Nye. So I'm just setting my under eyes and then pretty much all of the areas that we put the highlight on and concealer on. So it just helps kind of brighten those areas up a little bit, as well as setting all of my face. And then onto brows, I use this Soap & Glory Archery brow pencil slash comey thingy-majiggy. It's very similar to the Anastasia brow pencil. So one end has a spoolie, so I'd like to go through my brows first with that. And then I just start using light strokes to fill my brows in. And I've been doing this a heck of a lot recently. I just feel like I'm pretty much finished with my dip brow pomade from Anastasia Beverly Hills. So this was my next best bet to get, and I've been loving it, to say the least. So just making sure that both my eyebrows are nice and filled in, and then going in with this MUA Brow Define brow gel to make sure that all of my brow hairs are nice and in place and I don't have any caterpillar hairs going on. Then taking this Mr. Right Now from theBalm Cosmetics. It's basically a nude eyeliner, and I'm just lining my lower waterline with this. I wanted the look to be really sweet and soft and really pretty, so I wanted to go in with a nude eyeliner. And then taking the Berry Luminizer again, I'm just popping that on to the inner corners of my eyes just to brighten that area. And then in true Cinderella style, I've gone with this Bourjois waterproof eyeliner in this turquoise shade, and applying that to kind of like where my eye pupil majiggies are. So not all the way to the outside end, but from where the highlight finishes, and basically blending that all out with a brush to make sure that all of the edges are nicely blended into the highlight that we put on the inner tear duct. And then I went with 2 layers of this because I wanted the colour to be quite prominent. So it just basically looks like a pop of turquoise to match obviously Cinderella's dress, which is beautiful. And then taking Perversion again by Urban Decay and just putting that on the outer, really tiniest outer parts of my lower lash line, and then again blending that in. So it goes from highlight turquoise to like a diffused black, and I always like dragging it up ever so slightly and outwards so that it's nice and blended and kind of seamless, so the colour just doesn't end in the middle of nowhere on your eye. And then as always going back in with my mascara for my lower lash line, and I decided to only go with the Maybelline Lash Sensational one because I wanted them to be not too over the top. And then for my cheeks, I'm using this Clinique Cheek Pop, which is in this, I think it's called Berry Pop, but I will leave the details of it in the info box below. But just popping that onto my cheeks ever so slightly, and it is super pigmented, so I did go in and blend that all out with this Real Techniques Bold Metals powder brush. And then just to finish off my cheeks, I'm using that same Berry Luminizer highlighter and just highlighting the tops of my cheeks and making sure it's all nicely joined into my eyeshadow highlight, and then the usual nose, cupid's bow, chin and forehead areas. For my lips, I use this beautiful Tom Ford lipstick shade, which is I think in Blush Nude. Again, I will leave a link to it in the info box below, but I'm popping that all over my lips, but I felt like it was too nude for the look, so Just to pink it up a little bit, I'm using this Rimmel Exaggerate Lip Liner in the shade Eastern Snob, which if you guys have been watching my videos since last year, you will know that I love this colour and I think it's one of the most beautiful drugstore high street lip liners out there. So I'm just lining my lips and then filling them all in just to give it that hint of pink. And you guys, that is the final Cinderella makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoy it. Please let me know if you're going to be seeing the Cinderella movie because I would love to know. But until next time guys, I will see you all in my next video. Bye!